This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
A call to control social media. Correctional Service commends officers training. And Gobua community receives first government service. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Malinta Yopolo. Thank you for joining us. With the recent cyber attack on Miss PNG, May Asola, and other cyberbullying in the country and globally, Cybernetic Global Intelligence Chief Executive Officer Ravin Prasad said some form of control on social media can cut down such bullying activities.
Mr. Prasad said cyberbullying is on the rise globally. He warned the social media users not to put things that will put them in danger publicly.
Cyberbullying is on the increase, and it's actually on the increase globally, and it's very sad to see that this sort of incidents are occurring using the social media. I think what we need to do as parents is actually look at what are we actually putting on social media. So we need to understand, are we putting the information that's going to keep us safe, or are we putting information that could expose us to dangers?
He urged the parents to monitor the type of things that their children are putting out on social media.
When it comes to children, I think parents need to take the initiative to sit down with their children, explain some of the security reasons as to who are they talking to, do they know the person they're talking to, do not talk to strangers that they're not aware of, don't put in their friend group of people that they're not sure of, because you really don't know who they are and which part of the world they're talking to you from. So you need to have an understanding.
He said a lot of personal details should be avoided on social media.
A lot more involved with the children now to ensure that they spend some time with the children and sort of work with them to see what are they doing on social media, what are they putting out there, and help them by telling them not to put a lot of details, the type of photos they put out there. They need to have some better understanding and managing it properly.
By supporting the national government on having some controls on social media, Mr. Prasad said it is quite important to have some measures in place for social media users in the country.
Social media is a tough one. It's a way of information being dispersed globally to organizations. People use social media for a lot of activities. It's for some, it's used for good reasons, because you can see what's happening globally, you can understand some of the issues that are happening internationally that could affect you as a nation. So I think social media is good, but the level of information that you send out and use it for is critical, because social media can also have a lot of false information. Deep fakes can be used in social media that can attract the wrong or send the wrong message out to people, and people may believe in that. So I think having some controls in the level of social media that they are using and the level of content they want to put on there is critical.
Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Public concerns in regards to treatment of HIV in the country after President Trump's decision on U.S. aid. The National Department of Health and UNAIDS are reassuring the public that HIV testing and treatment services remain available throughout the country.
The Deputy Secretary for Public Health, Ken Wise, said an estimated 48,000 men, women and children living with HIV are currently receiving ARV treatments. Mr. Ken said that there is no shortage of HIV drugs and reagents in PNG. He said the government of PNG finances all ARV drugs and regions. Mr. Ken further said the National Department of Health has secured a 12-month supply of estimated HIV commodities, including ARV and HIV test kits. And assessments of art clinics and HIV testing clinics in late January confirmed that there were no disruptions to services. He reiterated the importance of HIV prevention, including practicing safe sex. Dr. Nano Gideon, National STI HIV Program Manager, confirmed that ARV drugs are purchased by the national government through the Department of Health and are free of charge in Papua New Guinea. However, some personnel, including clinicians, trackers, and data entry clerks who support HIV services and are funded through the United States government, may be unavailable to support services. The Department of Health is calling on the partners to work together to ensure this crucial service continues during the U.S. Foreign Aid Review period. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
A meeting was conducted in Port Moresby today to provide an overview of Phase 2 on the project for capacity development of Department of Transport in Port Policy and Administration.
The Phase 2 of the project commended in January 2022 to further strengthen the capability of the Department of Transport to plan and implement port policy and administration based on timely updated port statistics database. Assistant Secretary for Transport, Emma Cowell, when chairing the meeting today, said the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA, has been working collaboratively with the department over a decade in capacity building efforts, which led the enhancement of capacity to plan and effectively implement it.
The ability to manage port activities effectiveness across the nation. So these are the current issues. Phase 2 of the capacity building for port policy and administration. We address these gaps, and the Phase 2 focuses on. Phase 1 aims to strengthen the Department of Transport capacity to serve as the lead agency for port administration, focusing on port policy making and regulatory development.
Representatives from JICA made presentations on the overall project implementation, composition, and data of Papua New Guinea's port database and the purpose of the project.
Work together with our team member to collect information, collect the data, processing, and compiling to data in database, in addition to the discussion of the workshops. So we would respect their efforts in this project. So we are grateful for the cooperation and support to our project by the DOT and other relevant organizations. Thank you.
Other key stakeholders such as PNG Ports Corporation, Department of National Planning, National Maritime Safety Authority, and others also attended the event and participated in the discussions. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape has praised State Enterprises Minister William Duma for his leadership in securing a new aircraft for Air Niugini, marking the first major fleet attainment since the late 1970s.
The Prime Minister emphasized that Air Niugini's new fleet will enhance service reliability, boost tourism, and strengthen trade opportunities. He said the purchase of this aircraft is a significant milestone reflecting our government's dedication to strengthening key national assets and enhancing connectivity for the people. He thanked Minister William Duma for his leadership in driving this transformative initiative for our national carrier. Air Niugini Chief Executive Officer Gary Seddon highlighted that Air Niugini is undergoing its largest capital investment in history, with 30 new aircraft arriving between 2025 and 2028, beginning with 3 Airbus A220s in September 2025, coinciding with PNG's 50th independence anniversary. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
The new police transit house in Guarawon village in Raikos district of Medang province is a major milestone in restoring law and order in the area.
Initiated by Raikos member and Minister for Labor and Employment Kesi Sawang, this newly opened police transit house is a key development in controlling law and order in the area. Sawang explained that the idea is to bring police in on a fly-in, fly-out basis. She said the police officers will stay for 2 weeks at a time to monitor law and order before rotating out as people behave well in the police presence. The project was funded by the Raikos District Development Authority, aims to strengthen security in the once troubled Nakina area. Sawang said with the police transit house now in operation, they will focus on further development projects such as courthouse, a health center, a junior high school, and a flexible open and distance education center. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Acting Commissioner for Correctional Service, Bernard Netball, has officially opened the Correctional Service Custodial Officer Training Program today at Bomena, Port Moresby.
Following the opening of the Correctional Service Custodial Officer Entry Training Program today, 150 recruits will undergo 24 units training package that are in line with the CS competency standards to receive their Certificate 3 in correctional practice. Acting Commissioner emphasized on discipline today, stating that they expect good discipline from this intake of 2025.
And so discipline, we are now taking it very, very seriously, and it should start from this training ground. And so we expect the top discipline from this intake of 2025.
He further stated that due to low manpower, CS are expecting another intake after this batch. Furthermore, he highlighted the issue of candidates going into correctional service training without proper checks.
And so we will continue to recruit. But even when we recruit, we must identify the right candidates. As we address this time, we have also issues of people who coming through not through the right process. And so the college management will be able to take time to properly screen those that have come through the process. And so, yes, I've issued instruction that there must be 3 things taking place. The final vetting process of vetting the right candidates, the police clearance, the medical check, and we need to check through the education system that we have the right certificates.
Bernard Nepo made strong emphasis on discipline, encouraging the recruits to uphold their code of ethics in correctional service. He said a few weeks ago, during a meeting for law and justice sector in Port Moresby, Prime Minister James Marape made commendable remarks about correctional services.
Prime Minister made some commendable remarks about correctional service because over the last 10 years, unlike police and defense, we were able to maintain a high standard of discipline. And that is coming from the Prime Minister. And if it's coming from the Prime Minister, that's a sentiment that is being shared by our wider community. And I am sure that we maintain this discipline over the next coming few years. Until such time we put in some strict control and measures, I expect top discipline from this crop of officers that are coming into our organization.
Louis Maingo, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Training Commandant for Correctional Service, Chief Superintendent Areha Kemo, has assured the acting CS Commissioner that the college is well prepared to do its utmost best and will retain and sustain the required level of quality with quantity delivery of course program of 24 units.
The Correctional Training Commandant mentioned that the course is designed as a 30 weeks program that consists of custodial subjects and service subjects. He said it will be a 3 months on-campus training from the usual 4 months training.
After this, the training program will be 3 months, as we alluded to earlier. And after that, they will pass out around in June. And then they'll go on workplace training, which is a competency-based. That's for the next 9 months. Our training requirement is for a total of 12 months. After on-campus training, then they do off-campus, which is the on-the-job training, and they are assessed to meet the qualification of being competent correctional officers, Certificate 3.
Meanwhile, Superintendent Kemo said training resources is a challenge for them.
Although we have resources problem, that's an issue. I discussed this on Monday with the acting commissioner, that we still need a lot of money to come into. Our budget would be about 4 to 6 million to start off with in everything. But we will make do and we'll go with it.
He further stated that manpower in correctional services is an issue which they are now trying to solve.
That manpower is always an issue, and it's still an issue. That's why we've reduced the training time from initial 7 months to cover all 24 units plus 7 subjects, but we can manage that. That's normal. We can manage that either it's low, short period and on campus or long period on campus. It's within the 12 months required qualification framework time frame. Yeah.
The training commandant indicated that after this batch, they will proceed to train the second and third batch. Therefore, another recruitment is expected to start after completing the training program of the third batch. Louis Mango, National EMTV News.
The Gobua village community has seen government service reach their village for the first time through a new double classroom building that is currently under construction, equipped by the Rural Service Delivery Project under the Department of Provincial and Local Government Affairs. The Gobua village community's need for a school has finally been met under the Rural Service Delivery Project. The ward member explains that road access has been a great hindrance to the education of their children.
Currently, our children are going to Girabu Primary School, Gomor Primary School, Saroa, Daumagini, and Ruatoka. From here to Girabu, they walk distances down and up. So at times, as the years go by, when they feel tired, they don't want to go to school. And that is the problem.
Gobua double classroom is set to complete in the coming weeks.
Human resource is very important. So we need our children to be educated well. And here, we are just about to open our project, I believe. So at this time, our project is maybe only the skeletons here. But by next week and so on, I believe everything will be put on.
The classroom is a standard-based designed by the Department of Works and Highways and will cater for grades 3 and 4. Meanwhile, locals of Londairi Ward, located between the Koyari and Rigo LLGs, are putting in collaborative efforts to build a double classroom with the support from Rural Service Delivery Project. A once-established Peter Eager Primary School came to stop in 2019 after the passing of a teacher. Since then, children of Londairi Ward, as young as 8 years old, are sent to live with relatives in other wards in Central Province for education. Now, with the support from Rural Service Delivery Project under the Department of Provincial and Local Government Affairs, the villagers are putting in collaborative efforts to re-establish Peter Eager Primary School.
2018 and 19, all this lot beginning. We all been once upon a time all school here. All this lot beginning. Only less law school. Me plot time school and break down. I'm stop nothing. Me plot try lo put him all go lo. Nara plot schools. Only less now just stop nothing. Now all babies plot me plot all big plot. All go walking grade 2, grade 3. Nara plot schools now. All sleep want to sorry. All sleep want to cry. Some time me plot a kai good na stop. All me plus a worry na cry Lord slow picking when me plus go lose him. But now me plus looking myself true RSDP or World Banking or Kiamani me apply my classroom and now come up.
With a 17 kilometers difficult terrain from Gomorrah Junction, transporting of building materials has been a great challenge for RSDP. Central Province Project Coordinator Tobane Delele said initially the building materials was supposed to be airlifted. However, logistic funding did not allow. With the help of locals in Gobua village, the materials were successfully delivered to Londairi.
The project will place on top Londairi. So due to situation road conditions na disla, all come to sim lo yard blomi na miel pimol look out him. School materials.
The transportation of materials have taken more than 10 days to reach Londairi from 2 storage locations.
First week me load them bit tougher because of the rain and flood. Me work load him or materials come. Second location where I'm plahipim all one start because the Londairi am long way lili can too. So we can drop him all materials lo here go finish with the second storage lo here. So after the second storage, the first storage me rouse him come must take him me 8 to 9 days lo. Kisimo get the materials come lo here from here lo Obuya now. Obuya is the second location.
Construction of the double classroom has seen collaborative efforts by villagers. Londairi is a registered elementary school that caters for preparatory and grades 1 and 2. The soon-to-be re-established primary school will cater for grades 3 and 4. With PNG being the 4th member of Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries, Oil Palm Minister Francis Maneke has confirmed government's commitment to see more of the rural population involved in oil palm industry.
Following the arrival of delegates from the Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries, or CPOPC, from Indonesia yesterday, the General Secretary for CPOPC, Dr. Rizal Afandi Lukman, said they are here to hand over the letter that has been signed by ministers of CPOPC in granting PNG to become full member. It took 4 years for PNG to finally become a full member country to CPOPC.
In terms of the amount of export, PNG stands to become number 4, the biggest exporter of palm oil in the world. So meaning that PNG is a very important country in the palm oil industry.
While welcoming the delegates to PNG for the first time, Minister for Oil Palm thanked the Maraperoso government for making PNG become the 4th member. He said PNG has an advantage of the choice that they made, as this industry has been in PNG for the past 50 years and we have never developed so far. Minister Manake highlighted an additional achievement was to present a policy for oil palm in PNG.
Yes, there's never been any policy for oil palm in Papua New Guinea, and we are glad to announce that we will be submitting our oil palm policy to the National Executive Council, and at the same time we now have on draft the 2 legislation, palm oil legislations, that will accompany the policy, and it's important for now.
He said oil palm sector is planning to grow oil palm in all provinces in the country, and so they need support from CPOPC.
Developing oil palm in all the provinces in Papua New Guinea, and your support or guidance is also requested, so we can be able to do with respect to the RSPO standards globally that we've been using in Malaysia, in Indonesia. We want to work together and to see the future of our country in a big way. Excessively, we want to make sure that we enter other provinces, develop the customary land, convert customary land into state land, and then we can do more plantings of oil palm.
Minister Maneke said the government is aiming to see more rural population involved in oil palm industry. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Chinese ambassador to Papua New Guinea, His Excellency Yang Xiaoguang, met with Minister for Justice and Attorney General Pilaniningi yesterday to exchange views on judicial cooperation between the two countries.
Ambassador Yang and Attorney General exchanged views on strengthening judicial cooperation between China and Papua New Guinea. The ambassador introduced the great significance and strategic deployment of the third plenary session of the 20th Chinese Communist Party Central Committee and elaborated on the bright prospects for China's economic development. Third plenary session is typically economic reform-focused meetings and on occasions have gone on to spell out important reform-related breakthroughs. His Excellency affirmed that in keeping with the 4 fully respect and 3 North principles put forth by the Chinese President Xi Jinping in fostering relations with PNG, China will take the opportunities of the 50th anniversary of PNG's independence this year and the 50th anniversary of China-PNG diplomatic relations in 2026, strengthen practical cooperation in all fields, including justice, to further deepen China-PNG comprehensive strategic partnership. Minister Niningi thanked the Chinese government for its long-term assistance to PNG, commended the significant contributions made by the Chinese companies and Chinese communities to the economic and social development of PNG. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the Nest Fund market reports. The Kina closed lower at 0.2487 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yokina was buying 0.2412 US dollars, 0.3773 Australian dollars, 0.2235 euro, 36.37 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copper closed lower, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Now moving to overseas news. A woman and a 6-year-old child died in a house fire in Sydney's southwest.
Investigation has commenced into the circumstances surrounding a fatal house fire here at Heckenberg in Sydney's southwest overnight. Emergency services were called to the home on St John's Road just before 1 a.m. following reports of a fire. On arrival, they found the home well alight and faced significant fire activity with flames bursting through the windows. After eventually extinguishing the blaze after more than an hour and a half, emergency crews were able to enter the property where they found a 46-year-old mother and her 6-year-old daughter deceased. They are yet to be formally identified. A further 8 people, including 4 children, managed to escape from the property. They were treated by paramedics, with 3 people taken to hospital, 2 of which were in a critical condition, including a man and a younger child. They have serious injuries, including burns to their airways. Neighbours have described the scene as incredibly chaotic and distressing as people attempted to flee from the burning property.
Australia is again demanding Russia to release Oscar Jenkins after a new unverified video of the captured fighter was released.
It is, if verified, the first time we've seen definitive evidence that Oscar Jenkins is indeed alive, and the first time we've seen images of him since that initial video was released last year showing him taken captive by Russian forces. Oscar Jenkins was, of course, fighting for the Ukrainian armed forces and has been held prisoner now for several months. In this video, the Russian captor who films it states that it was taken in mid-January, so last month, and it was only uploaded a few days ago. We understand that the Australian government has also only been aware of this video for a few days. But in the video, Oscar Jenkins states that he is feeling weak and wishes that he was free, but apart from a broken arm, he appears to be in relatively good health, although he is being held in freezing conditions in a Russian winter, so you can imagine it is not a comfortable existence for Oscar Jenkins at the moment.
Police investigating a fatal house fire in Melbourne's west in January now believe the blaze was an arson attack linked to the state's tobacco war.
Detectives have spoken have said that this is one of the most tragic cases that they've worked on in his 38 years of service. 27-year-old Katie Tangi was house sitting at her brother's flat in Truganina in Melbourne's west on January 16. She had just enough time to call 000 to say that she was trapped inside that burning home. Now, detectives say that this was an arson attack and it is linked to Victoria's illegal tobacco wars. But the two men responsible who did this, they had the wrong address, and that Katie and her family are in no way linked to the tobacco wars. They had nothing to do with it. And this is what detectives said that they feared all along since these wars ignited, that someone innocent would be killed. Now, police are throwing everything at this case. Today they released two new CCTV clips. One shows accelerant being ignited at the building and then two people leaving the area. And one of those people appears to be holding a jerry can. The other CCTV clip is that of the car that the pair drove off in. It was dark colour, similar to a BMW X3, and was driving north on Forsyth Road.
Protesters have taken to the streets in Pacific nation of Cook Islands, urging the government to protect its ties with New Zealand and Illy Rift between the two countries.
Yeah, it's a fascinating relationship, Lorna, and it goes back some 60 years or so. Cook Islands used to be a colony of New Zealand, but then it decided to opt for something called free association. Now, that means that it does have independence, but not full independence. And the agreements that they've signed basically commit Cook Islands to, amongst other things, consulting with New Zealand on really important issues around, for example, strategic policy, or around foreign affairs, and certainly around military and security issues. Now, over the last couple of years or so, particularly over the last 6 months, we've seen a real souring of this relationship, which, at least on paper, is about as close-knit as a relationship is meant to get. There are two big disputes. The first one is a push from the current Prime Minister, Mark Brown, to set up his own passport for Cook Islands, something that New Zealand says would be a real break of the basic terms of that agreement, and which might endanger the access that the Cook Islanders currently have to residency and citizenship of New Zealand under that free association. Now, the other point of tension that's emerged is a decision that Mark Brown made to sign a new strategic partnership with China, something that stirred an awful lot of unease in Wellington. Now, again, this really comes down to the terms of this agreement. Cook Island says it's not obliged to share the full text before signing with New Zealand. New Zealand says that it is, and it's really become a point of contention between the two countries.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The PNG National Rugby League competition draws are set and ready to kick off the matches on the 13th of April.
The 2025 ExxonMobil Cup season will kick off with a blockbuster grand final replay set down for Port Moresby on Sunday, 13th of April. Fans will get to see if the Croton Hella Wigmen can avenge their grand final loss to the 2024 remaining premiers, Mount Hagen Eagles. The CS draw also sees match round 1 in Lae, showcasing the remaining 4 finalists from 2024 going up against each other to complete a Super Sunday across the country. PRK Mendi Muruks will play Enga Mioks and Lae Snakes Tigers will take on Egmak Gurias. The Kimbe Katas host PRK Gulf Iso, while Asila Wagetumbe will have their first match home against the Bintagor Lahanis in Minsk. To complete the round in the local derby between Moni plus Vipers will take on Gas Resource Central Dabaris. Jonathan Sibona, Chukai Sports.
The Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee proudly congratulated 5 exceptional individuals from the PNG Managing Olympic Sport Organization cohort who have successfully completed the Advanced Sports Management course.
The graduates, Ruta Omenefa, Miskas Edik Lapan, Jeffrey Robbie, who is the Vice President of PNG Weightlifting Federation, Ian Soweni, Junior Vice President of Softball PNG, and Hailen Tamarua from the PNG OC Staff and Admin and PNG Kung Fu Wushu Federation. This flagship educational diploma program of the International Olympic Committee equips sports leaders with essential management skills to advance sports development in Papua New Guinea. PNG Moso now has a total of 16 recipients, and PNGOC hopes to add more to the list in the upcoming MOSO 4, scheduled for October 2025, encouraging passionate sports leaders to seize this opportunity for growth and development. Jonathan Sibona, Chukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
You're watching Chukai Sports. Heading into the knockouts this weekend, BNBM netball team is aiming for a top spot in the private company's netball competition.
In an interview, BNBM team captain Avia Momo shared their thoughts on the gameplay.
Again on Court 1, Westpac and Theodist 1, Court 2, Pacific Industries and BSP 2, Court 3, NU Guinea 1 and Brian Bell 1, Court 4, BPNG 1 and Marsh, Court 5, Bishops and Post Korea, and on Court 6, Borokomotos and PNG Ports 1. Thank you.
She said the team will work on mistakes to make a strong comeback.
Some of the areas that we need to improve, we have to do more training with our girls, and I hope that we will achieve something in the next, because we are in the 3rd place, we are hoping to come back for knockouts.
She further acknowledged the people behind the team.
I would like to acknowledge the...
Thank you to those teams who have completed their checks. And on court,
manager who always comes and plays with us, Boss Judy, Boss Isen coming to watch the games, and also the supporters who are supporting us. Thank you very much. We shall improve.
Meanwhile, TOD's netball team is looking forward to work on errors and do better in the knockouts this weekend.
Speaking on behalf of the team, Captain Mary Gary gave her comments on the game.
It was a tough game, I would say. Unfortunately, we lost, but that's because we need to develop more of our court techniques, and then hopefully we're giving our thumbs up that we just played off at the round 2 today, so we actually have the next the last round, which will be in the knockouts this time. So we're looking forward to doing our best in the knockout season.
She further emphasized on the key areas to work on and also gave her acknowledgements.
I would say thank you to the TODs, the fans out there who have always been with us, supporting us one way or the other. And our big thank you to the TODs management team for always supporting us in this the game, our Netball Federation, and also the PCNC for giving us the opportunity to play in this club competition as well. And also to my team players, thumbs up to all of you. We can all do this by working as a team as usual. Let's go TODs.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, mostly cloudy with rain showers and drizzles. Daru, mostly cloudy with few showers and drizzles. Kerama, rain periods with possible thunderstorms. Alotau, cloudy with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Popondetta, partly cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Momase region, Lay City, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Medeng, cloudy periods with rain showers and drizzles and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, partly cloudy with some afternoon showers. And Vanimo, partly cloudy with possible showers. In the New Guinea Highlands region, Lorengau, mostly fine and partly cloudy, then few showers and drizzles tonight. Kavieng, mostly fine and partly cloudy to brief showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine and partly cloudy with few showers and drizzles. Kimbe, cloudy periods with frequent rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Buka, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, cloudy with showers and possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, mostly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with rain periods and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 19th of February 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.